Thank you so much for sharing your extraordinary talents with us today. It is not often that we get musical performance in conjunction with the GIC talk. So the beauty as well as the novelty of your introduction is greatly, greatly appreciated. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here with us today is the mayor of a city not unlike your own. His name is Nicolae Robu, a distinguished academic and mayor of Timisoara, the birthplace of Romania's democratic revolution, which began in December 1989 and resulted in the ousting and execution of Romania's communist dictator Ceausescu. It is no stretch of the imagination to associate Timisoara with Gwangju, which is the birthplace of Korea's democratization movement. What's more, the uprisings against despotism in both cities are broadly germane to a basic human desire to be free of tyranny. Today, Nicolae Robun's talk, entitled The Road to Democracy of Romania and the 1989 Revolution, will give us insight into the Romanian chapter of victory over authoritarianism. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our speaker with a big round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to tell you it's an honor for me to be here to have this conference in front of you. I, with some colleagues, Mr. Dragoi, the city manager of Timisoara, Mr. Dragoni, the director of Philharmonia, and my wife, Nicolae Robu. We had the opportunity to visit your wonderful country. We appreciate much South Korea due to its performances in industry, in IPNC, in automotive, in other high-tech based industries, in education, in scientific research, in culture, in urban development. And we try to learn during this short visit from your positive experience. Secondly, I'd like to tell to you some ideas about the Romania, generally speaking. Romania is situated in the southeastern part of Europe. Its neighbors are Bulgaria, Serbia, Hungary, Ukraine, and Moldavia, and the Black Sea. The population of Romania is about 22 million inhabitants. About 55 of Romania's inhabitants live in urban areas and the rest in rural areas. The big majority of population are Romanian, but in Romania live a lot of other minorities. The official language of Romania is Romanian language, a Latin one. The main religion in the Romania is the Greek Orthodoxism. About 85% of population belong to this religion. The other significant religions are the Catholicism with about 5%, Lutheranism, Calvinism 3.5%, Greek Catholicism, some very specific for Romania, 1%, and new neo-Protestant religions. Romania is a republic and form of government. The capital of Romania is Bucharest with a population of about a little more 2 million inhabitants. Our currency is leu. Leu means lion. Leu is not just lion, but it's the traditional name. The Romanian flag is there with the 3 colors we love a lot. The National Day is 1st of December, the day of unification of almost all territories with Romanian people as majority population. The explanation that the Romanian language is a Latin one is that the territory of Romania was occupied by Roman Empire. In the Middle Age, Romania was at the junction of 3 big empires. Parts of the Romanian territory being absorbed by one or the other 3 powers of the world at the time: Ottoman Empire, Habsburg Austrian Empire, and Russian Empire. Romanians live in 3 distinct principalities: Wallachia, Moldavia, and Transylvania. The western part of Romania belonged to the Ottoman Empire between about 1500 here, more precisely 1526 to 1716. After 1716, this western part of Romania, where is situated our city Timisoara, belonged to the Austrian Empire until 1867, when Austrian Empire became Austro-Hungarian Empire until 1980. The rest of Romanian territories was under the suzerainty of Ottoman Empire, but never belonged to Ottoman Empire. only after the First World War, all Romanian territories was unified at 1st of December 1918. That's why this is our national day. After the Second World War, unfortunately, Romania became a communist country. During this period, the dictator installed step by step, and human rights was lost. The economy became centralized and state controlled. The level of life of the population decreased step by step. Romania had a good period, we can say, between 1965 and 1978, maybe 80, you can say, when a lot of schools, hospitals, cultural institutions, and works to modernize the infrastructure of Romania took place. But after 1978, and rather after 1980, the situation became difficult to be supported. The economical crisis was installed, and the level of life of the population decreased very deeply. Romania became very isolated without the new technologies. And of course, in these conditions, uncompetitive. The regime with Ceausescu front as the leader of Romanian system, a nationalist communism, supervised the population, and the liberty didn't exist. The freedom of expression, the freedom of initiative didn't exist in this period. In this context, when the communist system failed in all European countries, in Romania too appeared the first sign of the unsupported situation we arrived. Timisoara and our region was, we can say, privileged in Romania, because the level of life in our city and in our region was higher than in other parts of Romania. Against this fact, the first movements against the system took place in Timisoara. The question is why? The explanation is that Timisoara has and had always a spirit of freedom. Timisoara was always, has been always under the influence of Western European culture and civilization, more than other Romanian cities or regions. In Timisoara, we had first movements against the communist system in 1956. The students from Timisoara had an important movement against the system in this year 1956, when in Hungary the population had a big protest. But this movement was insignificant at the level of the country and remained without results, practical results. Why? Because Timisoara remained isolated. A lot of years after, in 1989, the situation was totally different. Before I continue, please allow me to present to you a short movie about the events from Timisoara in 1989. Please. Timisoara is an historical city with a lot of old buildings. You can say a little part of them. color camera.
In the autumn of 1889, the communist authorities decided to move the reform priest from Timisoara, Tökes László, from the parish he was in charge. In 15th of December, parishioners and a small group of citizens kept watch in front of the parish building at Maria Square. That evening, people from Securitate, Communist Secret Service, police, dressed as civilians, tried to arrest the participants and some fights broke out. However, they did not generalize or extend. On the 16th of December, a protest broke out in Timisoara as an answer to government's attempt to evacuate the reform pastor. Parishioners gathered in front of his home to protect him from harassment and evacuation. As a consequence, the police, militia was the name, forces and the Securitate stepped in, the protest extended and the initial cause fell on the second place. Some protesters tried to set the building which hosted the county committee of the Romanian Communist Party on fire. The Securitate responded with tear gas and water jets, whereas militia used force and arrested a significant number of participants. People moved around the Metropolitan Cathedral and went on a protest march through the city, being confronted again by the forces of Securitate. It is important to emphasize that at the beginning had something very precise, a human situation between this person, Laszlo Tőkés, and the prize around him. But the tension, the social tension at the time was enough high to lose the control and to have other direction of the protest. The protest became the protest against the system, the regime. Protests continued on the next day, the 17th of December. Protesters entered the county committee and through party documents, propaganda brochures, Ceausescu's writings and other symbols of the communist power of the window. They tried to set the building on fire again, this time being stopped by military units. The army failed in its attempt to re-establish order, managing to transform Timisoara into an inferno. Gunfire, victims, street fighting, vehicles in flames, tanks which transported the Securitate armed forces. In the 18th of December, defying the interdictions, a group of 30 young people made their way towards the Orthodox Cathedral, waving the Romanian flag with the communist coat of arms being cut out. They have been fired against and some of them died, others were seriously wounded. On the same evening, 43 dead bodies of the ones who have been shot at during the demonstration, but also bodies of some wounded people executed inside the county hospital have been taken from the morgue and transported to Bucharest in order to remove signs of the repression. The bodies were burned in the Cenușa crematory in Bucharest, whereas the ashes were collected in 4 trash cans and thrown away in a sewer. On the 20th of December, massive crowds of workers entered town. 100,000 protesters occupied the Opera Square, today Victory Square, and began shooting anti-governmental slogans. We are the people, the army is with us, and don't be afraid, Ceausescu will fall. Gradually, the situation comes out of authorities' control. Many soldiers begin fraternizing with the demonstrators. By the end of the day, Timisoara is being proclaimed by the protesters a free city, free of communism. This period, Timisoara was the only one city in Romania where were protests. But Timisoara's example will be followed by other towns in the country. On the 21st of December, protests also started in the capital, Bucharest. Encouraged by the example of Timisoara, people come out on the streets and begin a protest manifestation which becomes a revolution and brings the communist regime to an end. Street fighting is stopped, many dead people and wanted are being recorded. On the 24th of December, Bucharest is a city on war. The Ceausescu husband and wife wanted to flee by helicopter, but were captured by the revolutionaries and judged by a military extraordinary tribunal. On the 25th of December, the tribunal pronounces the death sentence. After executing the couple, death penalty is abolished in Romania. For the people of Timisoara, December 1989 has brought the most beautiful gift, the freedom. Timisoara has opened the way. The courage of young people has rewritten history. God wanted the revolution to begin here. Perhaps it's a sign, a confession, it is surely a new beginning. Disputes around calling the event a revolution, popular revolt or coup d'etat are far from over. But what happened remains. Facts, evidences, demonstrations, ballots, sacrifices, prayers. After 23 years, we have the memory of the participants and hero, successor, martyrs. They are living reference points of beliefs we have to carry on. It is important one does not forget and puts on a manifest idea to guide them in whatever they do. I am a citizen of Timisoara with my soul and mind vibrating at what happened in that blood-stained December which brought us freedom. I was at the time teaching assistant in the university, and of course I participated at the events, but not on the fire. I was present in Victoria Square, where you have seen a lot of people, more than 100,000 people, in a city which had and has more than 300,000 inhabitants. Very important to emphasize how percent of population participate to the events. Of course, for the capital, for Bucharest, where the population was more than 2 million inhabitants, on the street was about 1 million inhabitants. Was the chance for Timisoara that in other cities in Romania, and very, very important, decisive, we can say, in Bucharest, our example was followed.
these conditions, we succeeded to change the regime, to do a real revolution. Immediately after Ceausescu left power, we had very hard days. We had a kind of anarchy, and in the month of May we had the first democratic elections. Step by step in Romania we created the right state institutions, democratic institutions, and the mentality of people changed to a democratic mentality. After about 50 years of dictator, of totalitarian system, of course, we had a problem too with our mentality. In the new context, the economy conceived as centralized and state-controlled one had big problems. Practically almost all communist enterprises didn't resist in the new context of market economy. We know a deep crisis, but step by step, Romania attracted foreign investments, a new economy was created, and was very, very important that in 1st of January 2007, Romania adhered to European Union. Was a sign that the investments are safe in Romania, was a sign that Romania will remain a democracy, and the courage of investors increased. We had a good period between 2004 and 2008, an excellent period, we can say, with the biggest economical growth in Europe, but of course the international world crisis affected our economy too. And starting with 2009, the crisis installed in Romania, we crossed difficult years until 2012. Now is a little better, step by step. The economy is better, and in 2013 we will have an economical growth estimated at 1.5%. Is not more, but is important, is not minus, and is a little plus. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now we will begin the question and answer portion of the talk. If you did not receive a piece of paper when you came in, you can raise your hand, and one of our volunteers will give you a piece of paper to write your question on, and they will give it back to me, and if time permits, I'll get through most of them. With that out of the way, I'd like to say just before we begin, please do not raise your hand to ask a question directly. We prefer that you submit it in written format. Okay, so first things first. Is this your first trip to Korea?
Yes, it's my first trip to Korea.
And how do you like it so far?
I hope not the last, of course.
How do you like it so far? Has anything stuck out to you?
I am very impressed by your development, by your civilization and preoccupation to do at the best level all what you do. I have seen a big seriousity at all the people I met, and around me I saw only almost perfect things. Of course, I spent in Korea 5 days, it's the sixth day, and it's impossible to see all. I appreciate also your nature. It's wonderful. You have a wonderful country, and the people I met are too wonderful.
Great, thank you. Your wife mentioned to me that she also participated in the protests in Timisoara, and also you said that you did. Do you have any amazing story or anything that you can share with us that's specific to that event?
Oh, I have a lot, but we haven't time to present. Yes, in the 19th of December and in 20th of December, we together, we was in the Victory Square, Opera Square at the time, and I am very enthusiastic generally. And I asked to my wife, we was with our children. I take my children, în 79, 10 ani. Da. At, nu știu, în 79 erau născut. Da. Yes, 10 years to participate at the historical events. I was sure we will succeed. I was sure the revolution will change the regime in Romania. My father was political imprisoned when I was a child. And I can't forget that time. And I was very stimulated by the events, and when my wife asked to me to go together home because the things appear to become dangerous, I said, no, I have an inspiration. I want to compose a song, a revolutionary song. Finally, she insists, and we go home. In a few minutes, they start to the fire. Yes. And I realized the situation with all the family present there, the fire. We avoid, fortunately, due to my wife.
Among your father's generation, are many of the people still nostalgic for the old days? Or are most of them very happy that the political regime of Ceausescu is finished?
The number of nostalgic population is very, very low in Romania, insignificant. The people understand that the democracy is incomparably better, and against the difficulties there are, is preferable to be free, to can have initiative, to can see all the world and to be responsible yourself for your life.
Ceausescu was tried and executed very quickly. These days, do most people support that quick execution, or is there some revisionist opinion on that?
In my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of Romanians, was not a good idea to kill Ceausescu in that manner. Was not proof of civilization. But history has such moments.
Okay. Which aspect?
He must, of course, Ceausescu was responsible for a lot of wrong things. But the manner of persecution would be more civilized.
Okay. Which aspects of Ceausescu's political and economic systems have been the most difficult to change?
Yes, it was difficult to change. Was new experience at world level. Romania and the other former communist countries know a new experience, a transition from the communist system to the capitalist system. And all the society, the economy, all the fields was arranged in other conception, all under the control of the state, without individual initiative, without the freedom of organization of people, all under the command of the hierarchical system. And it was not easy to change this system and to have the most appropriate behavior in the new conditions.
Okay. Just up north, in North Korea, there's a dictatorial regime. As a Romanian, what advice would you give Korea when it comes to helping break down a system like that?
The people must have courage. Probably without sacrifice will be difficult to change such a system. I don't know exactly the situation there, but about my knowledge could be difficult to change. Probably when the economical crisis will become very deep, the people must react to survive. Maybe the people on the high level will be open-minded, and this would be the better solution, and they will start the reforms like in former Soviet Union.
You mentioned that the people in Timisoara are a bit more liberal or progressive compared to many other parts of Romania. Is that still true today? Is it the same today?
Yes.
Okay. And let's see. Okay, we have a few questions about the Romanian language. It is a Latin-based language.
Yes.
And someone wants to know, how closely is it related to other Latin-based languages?
is close with Italian, with Spanish, with French. We, the Romanian, we understand the Italian without problem. Not all, but enough. We can speak Italian without learn, of course. We understand also Spanish, but not so much as Italian.
And French?
French is not difficult for us to learn, but for somebody who didn't learn French, it's difficult to understand.
I heard from your wife that she is a professor, or she was a professor of French.
She was French professor.
And so many Romanians can speak French and Italian really well. But she also mentioned that she speaks Russian. So what influence does Russian have on Romania?
Not a big influence. Romania has had a particular status. We developed in Romania since 1960 a particular communism, the nationalist communism. And in this context, in Romania, the Russian language was not compulsory like in other communist countries. In Romania, we learned the majority of population the French as first foreign language, and the second was English, German, or Russian.
Okay.
I studied in the school French language and a little Russian.
Okay. We have time for about 3 more questions. So here we have a few questions about Romania and the EU. What are your thoughts about Romania's accession into the EU?
The access of Romania in EU was very well received by the population, was the biggest desire of Romanian before and after the adhesion. We are satisfied that Romania is included in a club of developed states, and we have assured the security. I explained that in our history we was always at the confluence of a lot of big interests. In geopolitical approach, Romania was very important always, and without this acceptance in EU, it was difficult for us to assure a stable development of the country due to a lot of interest concerning Romania.
All right. Are there any plans to change from the lei to the euro in the future?
Yes, we postponed the initial plan due to the economical crisis, but probably in few years, 5, maybe 7 years, we will change. Probably not rather.
Okay. And this will be our last question for this question and answer portion. I believe just last year, in October, you were elected mayor of Timisoara.
In June.
In June. Well, first, congratulations. And my question is, do you have any further political ambitions in the future? Are we looking at a potential future president of Romania right now?
Is too much for the instant. I have engagement to the citizens of Timisoara, and I have to respect all I promised and to do a lot of things more. After these 4 years of my mandate, So in 2016, we will see if I will desire a new mandate, if the citizens of Timisoara, supposing I will desire I will be the mayor, we will see. I have a project only for these next 3 years.
Okay.
I was a senator between 2008 and 2012, but I broken my mandate as senator rather with about 6 months when I was elected as mayor. It's a new challenge for me after my experience as vice rector of the main university in Timisoara, 4 mandates. After my experience as rector of this university for 2 mandates, and after this experience as politician, 3 years and a half in Romanian parliament. We will see in the future.
Okay, great. I think we got through all of the questions, so your questions have been answered. Let's thank the speaker for answering all of our questions. With a round of applause. Thank you.
If you allow me few words,
Sure.
I am a liberal in Romania. The National Liberal Party is the right party, but balanced right, not extreme right. Yes. Our president, I am vice president of the party at the national level and the president of a branch of our country. Our president, Crin Antonescu, is our candidate for the function of President of Romania for 2014. Next year we will have elections, and I hope my actual president of party will become the president of Romania.
Oh, best of luck. All right. Okay, thank you, Mayor
Thank you
Robu,
very much. Thank you very much.
for answering our questions and for your unforgettable talk. We at the GIC would like to present you with a letter of appreciation, which will be given by the director of the GIC, Dr. Sim Gwangju.
Making the most of my position as a director, I would like to add one more question to you. You used to be professor at the university, but you changed your course of life from teaching position to a politician position. So, as a professor, I want to ask you, what is the significant difference of your contribution to the society as a teacher and as a politician? The short answer.
Short answer, difficult, but difficult. Of course, as teacher, I try to offer a good education or a good preparation of my students. I am professor in computer science field. As politician, I try to change the things, to do the things better with correct approach, with professionalism and without politicianism.
The reason that I gave this question is that in Korea we have very negative perception on politicians.
And Romania too, of course. Of course.
I want to have the young generation to change that perception.
Yes. Our life is influenced by the political decisions
Yes.
we want or no. And it's very important who are the politicians, because they decide.
the course of life. And then they changed the system. Without the correct answer, I should not give this level of appreciation to you. Level of appreciation to Dr. Nicolae Robu. We'd like to thank you for your support to Gwangju citizens as a guest speaker to GIC talk on June 15. Is the topic on the road to democracy of Romania and the 1989 revolution. Thank you very much. And then one more gift. Have more weight to your luggage.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Invite you to visit Romania and Timisoara especially, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do we also have other times? Okay. All right. As the speaker has to leave to Seoul after this, there will be no discussion group today. Next Saturday, on June 22nd, a talk entitled Visible Connections will be given by Neil Moores, the director of Birds Korea, an NGO dedicated to the conservation of birds in Korea and the surrounding region. The speaker will come to us all the way from Busan, so please come and hear what he has to say. Thank you and have a wonderful weekend.